Hello everyone, Rare Model Reviews, and you know what time it is. Got a couple of boxes to unbox here from P Bandai, and I'm very excited to go ahead and open these things up and show you guys what's inside. So I'm of course going to save the best for last. I already know which boxes has which because I opened them just to check off what personal information might have been inside, and those slips usually have the manifest of what's in which box. So we're gonna go ahead and go over to this first box here. So this is going to be the, what is this? I believe it's the C&T type for the Gundam F90 Master Grade. The exclusive P Bandai Master Grade. Oh wow, this thing says 2023. So that proves my suspicion. This thing is still having mission packs come out. I thought they would have finished them by now. Since I got to open this other one up, or should I say take it out, clear some space in this table here to, of course, unbox this thing. We also have, this I knew was new. This is the mission pack, I believe it's called the Shelfer Tree. Basically what it is, it's like a display where you could put the F90, as you can see there, on the display here, as well as the mission pack. So I'm not sure this would be compatible with all of the mission packs, but you should be able to put at least two, I'm guessing, on these things. So once again, I'm pretty sure this is a new release. Maybe even a first run of this thing, at least in America. Japan might be even sooner. So again, let me just push this box out of the way here so that I can throw this on the ground. It opens things up. So I guess I'll do the tree first since I already kind of looked around this thing anyway. So this is actually a small box, mainly because of course it's basically just for a little display base, we should call this. So I'm sure this is really quick to build. Looks like it's only about 2 bags with 2 runners each, totaling out at 4. So nothing too special here, just some gray plastic here. And this runner here is labeled B by the looks of it, and then what is that, XA1? So again, there's nothing really special here. Not really anything to really even comment about it. Just gray pieces here that's gonna help make this base. Very small runners here, so I imagine I'll be able to bang this thing down half an hour. Appears to be part for the little stand there. Get XA1. Don't see the other numbers and letters there. Now this is where things get interesting. This here is the whole alphabet for these mission packs here. Well, I think we might be missing some, but I swear it was 2060s things, so unless this thing is trying to tell me that they didn't do all of them. Because what is it? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. There's no N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W. So we're mixing the X and what, Z? So I'm guessing there's 3, if not 4, more mission packs in this. So I don't know if that's trying to tell us that we might see 3 or 4 more, or what. But as you can see here, basically you'll be able to use these little alphabeticalized plates here for the mission pack. So I have the C&T, for example, and I believe this allows you to build 2 of these little mission pack hangers here. So if I wanted, I could put the C coldness type and the T tracer type for those plates. Or if I'm curious, I could just buy a whole bunch of these things and just have all of these things with my little display base form. So that's actually what I might end up doing, although I'm not gonna lie, I am waiting for them to re-release this Vesper type, because that's the version that basically ended up spinning into the F91 Gundam. So that's the one I really like. I like the whole predecessor thing going for the F90 into the F91. Yeah, that's interesting. This is the front they show here, but like it doesn't. Anyway, so as you can see here, it just goes ahead and tells you how to build this thing. Almost starts off like a typical action base. In fact, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure these are probably parts from the action base 1 and maybe 2 that might have been used over, and then they added these other parts here into it, to, of course, to make it more unique and different and all that good stuff. So it's just showing you what you're supposed to be building here, the maintenance state it says. storage state. And of course, what's this said? Attached present mission patch, the same shapes, mission patch, safety F90. Okay, I think it's trying to tell you that the hard points that comes with the mission packs for the F90 are the same as on this display stand here, so it should all sync up well and all that good stuff. Yep, and then it's telling you to use these as a reference to where you attach stuff. So again, everything goes in all flush and all that. Move parts. Okay, I think it's just there. You move the set of parts from the gun in itself or what have you for the attachments. Wow, which pack is this? Because that's I forgot what those things are called. Little javelin type things. I didn't know they had a mission pack that gave it a javelin. It's interesting. Unless it's trying to tell you can use some stuff from the crossbow gun. That's the only thing I can think of with javelins. But you get the idea here. Just going over here, showing you how you attach each individual mission pack here, because of course, just throwing it on here might not be as simple as it looks or whatever. Now this is one I could have gotten too, the little weird spaceship looking one, but I had to pass up on it because that thing looked a little too funky for my taste. But it definitely showed up on P Bandai. In fact, I think that might have been the first things they're advertising when I first started my P Bandai addiction here. But that's just about it for this mission pack. Twin set here. Maybe not. I don't want to fit it too long. I'll just put the box back on. So I could be wrong, but I swear some of the labels on this box look a little new, like the 15 plus thing. I don't recall seeing anything like that. I think this thing is trying to tell you that the F90 gun in itself is sold separately from this mission pack set here or whatever. Sure, I'm surprised they didn't have released the F90 with like, well, I guess they do have some versions that do have packs included with it. You think they would release the default F90 with mission packs, just like the F92s and all that have some with them. So you're kind of forced to get the F92 to get some of the mission packs. But starting off here, we of course have some water slider decals here. So we have stuff labeled the C type for coldness and the tracer type. So if you didn't know, this thing has basically like a whole alphabet of mission packs to fit various different assignments that gunner might have. And they all actually are named based on those letters. Very awkwardly like that. As you can see, the cold and tracer type. Tracer type doesn't sound too bad, but the coldness type sounds a little crazy. So from what I heard, some of these mission packs aren't color separated the best so far, what I'm seeing. They look good, but when this thing's all built, and if I can find some reference images for this thing, that'll be the true decider if that is the case or not. Okay, so this fabric here looks like, I'm pretty sure this is supposed to go over the Gundam's shoulder. If I could give you guys a bit more of a reference here. You see that there. I'm pretty sure this is what it's supposed to be for. I'm sure it'll look a lot better when it's all built and all that, but yeah, right now it's just kind of like, what the heck am I looking at? There we go. So of course we have the parts manifest here. Shows everything we just looked at. Starting off this way. So yeah, so you pretty much get a finished image of what you're gonna have here. So as you guys could guess, this coldness type is supposed to be used in winter environments, I guess you say, or Arctic environments. And basically this is just to allow this thing to be able to move very flawlessly around the Arctic landscapes. So it has like these little snowboard or skis or whatever you would call those that'll kind of transform over his feet or whatever. Which I thought was a pretty cool concept. So I don't think they've ever had any kind of Gundam like that. I think the closest thing to it would have been the Atlas. Atlas sort of work similar to this thing does. And that's one of the things that honestly I thought was really cool about the F90, just the fact that it's like this kind of variable, one size fits all jack of trades type suit. So it'd be really cool if this thing I'm getting a show or even a movie or something like that to expand upon this thing. I know from reading the box of the F90, it mentioned something about Xeon remnants, which I know is pretty played out, but that was always a part of the UC history after, basically, honestly, Char's Rebellion, or if not Unicorn. It was a pretty peaceful time. They went almost like 20 years without anything really going down to the whole Matthew thing with Hathaway. But after that, again, it was like another 20 years where nothing really happened. So, now as for the tracer type, I'm not entirely sure what the heck the tracer type is for, because I know there's like a recon type or whatever for the F90 that's supposed to, you know, increase some of his scouting type abilities. So it's supposed to be kind of like a scouting pack for the suit itself, but I'm not entirely sure what the tracer's deal is. All I know is it looks cool, so I got it. Especially since I really wanted to get a mission pack for the F90, because you can't just have the vanilla F90. It's basically just a rework of the original Gundam. You know. So we're not done yet, guys. We still got one more, and this is the doozy here. This is the big chunky. This is what we've all been waiting for, well, at least me. So voila, here we have it. We have a master grade Stark Jagan. So for those of you who have been here a while, or at least looked at some of my older reviews, you know I reviewed the high grade Stark Jagan, and I ended that thing off saying, why haven't they made a master grade of this thing? So as you can see, 2023, this is brand new. Again, I'm pretty sure this is the first run of this kit, if not just in America. I don't know if Japan got it first, but regardless, this is the first time this thing has been released in America. P-Banda release, and we'll tell you guys straight off the bat here. Also, didn't really notice that. I think a lot of these master grades do that. They tell you what show it's came from or whatever, or series, I should say. So of course it's Unicorn. Yes, this is the P-Bandai kit. As you know, most P-Bandai kits are really just recolors of existing kits with some modifications here to make them unique, if at all. So this thing here, also I want to say that these plates are huge. These are huge runners. I don't have another box around here to compare, but this thing feels a little hefty. I don't know if maybe I just been building smaller master grids or what, but I don't know. These just look big to me, which makes sense because a lot of later UC kits were big. But and me not interrupting myself here. Yes, slide decals. This thing is based off of the Jagan Type D. So as a result, this thing is going to use a lot of the parts from the Jagan Type D with a few extras to, of course, transform into the Stark Jagan. So this is going to be new. Those are like the missile pod parts. I'm going to guess there's going to be another runner like that, because this thing's supposed to have twin missile pods. So there we go. We have some of the parts here for the armor here. I wonder if there's going to be anything here that I mentioned here. That just for Stark Jagan. If you guys know, it's in Japanese, so I wouldn't know. I'm kind of glancing around this thing and seeing, because anyone who's built any master grade, since really they start making these things, if you look close enough to these plates, no kanji especially, you'll be able to know what these things are saying and know that they might be pertaining to something like, you know, just a default kind of frame, similar to what they do with the seed kits. I believe they mentioned those things as like G frames or something like that, and that's because they've been using those for a whole bunch of different Gundams they made from the seed series and so on. So like I said, these parts here for the inner frame and like the little Vulcan pods. So like I said, if there are things pertaining to a default Jagan frame or anything, it's in kanji, so I can't read it. But some of these parts I definitely know just from looking at it that they are unique parts, such as that last runner I just looked at. I see the second missile pod there, and it's like a mirror of the first plate I looked at. These are some clear blue parts. That is great. This is going to be for like the visor, it looks like. I want to say some of those parts, like they might be for the front and back camera too. They're probably on one attached piece. And looking in there, there's some stickers, so that's most likely gonna be some thrusters. But I also wanted to mention, if I'm not mistaken, the Jagan Type D was a P Bandai kit, and that, of course, was based off of the original Master Grade Jagan, which is based off the version you find in Char's counterattack. Okay, I'm like wondering what's going on here. The K1 and K2 are kind of mirrored type plates. So no matter which way you flip it, something's going to be upside down. So you have the J1, this is for missiles, this is going to be for the shield. So I don't know if it's going to have all the parts for it or not, but if it does, we might have a shield left over when it's said and done. I didn't notice any plates for it. So they might have left out the plate that allows you to make the shield, but we'll see. This is good news. I'll reveal that in a sec. I just glanced at something cool in the box that we didn't think about till now. But just some more gray parts rounding out a bit of the inner frame and whatnot. So yeah, I think that's really it. So first and foremost, this is a pretty thick book. And second of all, yes, this thing has its own unique manual. It's not doing any of that stupid nonsense I've been seeing with a lot of these P Bandai releases lately. They take the original manual, have you build as much as possible with it, but then they have an optional manual that has you round out the whole process. I can't stand to do that. It feels cheap. It's called Premium Bandai, so everything should feel premium, you know. You're paying a lot for these things, so I expect a lot. I mean, personally, move some stuff out the way. All right, so we have a menu here. Lots of runners here. As you can see, 2 pages worth. It's not that one, if not 1.5 page. We're looking at those other ones. So this is interesting. I'm seeing 4 beam sabers here. You only should need like 2 of those things. It's showing 4 rockets. I'm pretty sure it can only fit 2 in the arms here. Unless what they're doing is they're allowing some sort of thing where you could put 2 beam sabers in each, or 2 rockets in each, or missiles, I should say, or grenades. It's in here. So it does have the beam rifle with hyper bazooka. So the beam rifle, even though it doesn't look a rifle to me, is technically left over from the Type D. I'm pretty sure there was a Stark Jagan that did use it in the show, but it was a different version of the Stark Jagan. It wasn't exactly this one. That one, I believe, is technically the prototype Stark Jagan, but the high grade came with a beam rifle and the bazooka, so I'm glad the Master Grade does the same. So I'm sure most of this construction is going to mirror the Type D's construction, which is just funny. The P Bandai kit has a P Bandai kit for that P Bandai kit. But there's going to be a few things where it deviates a little bit, mainly for those sections where those extra armor's added. Like, if I'm not mistaken, for the head, I'm pretty sure there's a gray piece over the front camera, whereas the Type D did not. So, of course, yeah, it looks like it's telling you, yeah, you could put either the grenades in here or the beam sabers. So I guess that's what they're doing. Although it wouldn't make sense for you to do that because it has 2 beam sabers that'll fit in one arm. So if you were to put 2 extra beam sabers in the other arm, besides the fact that, you know, hey, what if one arm gets cut off? Then it will have the ability to pull out beam sabers. It can only hold 2 beam sabers in its hand, so I mean, sure, you could do some Zeta stuff where it does a beam diffuse, just throw the beam saber and shoot it, but yeah, it's a little unnecessary. So the missile pods look like they're going to be extremely simple to build. Probably as simple as the high grades, but I'm sure more detailed. And I'm just want to kind of look at some of these things and see how much it shares with the high grades, like build, like the similarities. So of course it's a Master Grade, so it's going to be way more detailed, but for what I glanced at there, that shoulder build looks pretty similar. So you're still going to have a bit of a attachment point there showing, even if you were to take the missile pods out. Makes you kind of want to watch the show again to see how exactly it looked like when it did purge those missile pods there. So of course this thing is going to basically like the Type D until you put some of this armor over these pieces here. Like, just looking at this thing, that's basically just a Jagan leg until you put these little ankle pieces here and attach those. And again, me building a high grade and I look at the Master Grade, a lot of these build pieces look very similar to it. It looks like basically like building a bigger version of it. Now, thankfully, I built that Jagan a decade ago, so this is still gonna feel pretty fresh to me. And by the looks of it, this thing is really just big. That's all it really is. This build doesn't seem very complicated, so this shouldn't take too long to bang out overall. It's really a test of patience and whether you have the endurance to even build this thing straight. Of course, weapons too, nothing too complicated. About just 2 pieces slapped together, but that rifle itself, like, it was maybe no more than 10 pieces you put together. And it's a bit more elaborate, but still nothing too fancy. In fact, I take that back now. This thing was done in basically 4 steps, it looks like. So yeah, not too complicated with that. So of course, this thing does not use the 3.0 hands. It uses the bracket hands that we've been seeing for the last 10 years or so. And it's just showing the mechanism for how you would take out the beam sabers. Maybe even refill the grenade launchers. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't paying that much attention to that step there. It is showing the intricate process of unlocking that hatch, because this thing, of course, has the armor over the actual cockpit itself, showing you how to purge the armor there. Oh, okay, I like that. It's telling you push this part up and then take those parts out to the side off. So I'm not sure if it'll still show that gray part right there, but at least you have it looking more cleaner when you do purge the armor. Now, I want to set, I believe the Jagan, the Master Grade Jagan, the original, had pretty good articulation. I remember a lot of people writing and raving about it, and I was way too tempted to get it, but I'm kind of glad I held off on it because I personally wanted the Type D, for which, if you guys don't know, is the version that was featured in Unicorn, which had the updated, I believe, Katoki design. So that thing honestly looked a lot better than me than the original Shards counterattack, which looked kind of a bit cheesier. Although I might end up buying that one too, just because I really love the Jagans. Jagans was a great successor to the Gem line, and I could definitely say I will be adding these decals onto this thing for those of you who are curious. Although I might review, okay, let's be honest, I will review this thing before I put the decals on, because I was looking forward to this Jagan being a Master Grade for a very long time, so I'm very happy they finally went ahead and did so. And I can already confirm to you guys right now, as soon as I upload this video here, I'm going to go ahead and build this thing right away. I hopefully will be able to build this thing today and finish it up tomorrow and have a review out by Wednesday, but no promises there. And this is kind of a marathon, a lot of time for building my kits for me. So I do not have the energy I used to build, to sit here and build a kit from start to finish like I used to. But we will give it a shot. I also would love to hear you guys' opinion here on the lighting of this video. I've been trying to play around with the lighting, or just really where I do my reviews, just to get the best possible setup for you guys. Because I have heard some complaints that the lighting hasn't been the best. And I am working on, for first and foremost, getting an actual camera. Because for those of you who don't know or couldn't tell, I'm recording, or I should say I have been recording all of my videos on my iPhone here to various results. And I, of course, want to step it up, show that I'm serious here by, of course, getting more professional setup, even if it's just a GoPro. You know, I want something that's a bit more suited for videos. Because, like I said, me, myself, I do feel like I'm kind of stagnated here. You know, I've hit a wall reviewing things with this camera phone here, and I prefer to do something more professional. Play with the lighting, although I honestly end up probably just getting like one of the little lighting rings or whatever you call those things. Just, again, to make sure this lighting stays consistent. Because I can already confirm, I have one video I'm debating whether I should just re-record over again because I'm not too happy with the lighting. But at the same time, I have a unique idea for it, so it makes it hard where I might have to just kind of throw that review out there and, you know, see how you guys at least like the idea more so than the lighting. But I feel like I've rambled on enough. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this mystery unboxing here, and I really hope you guys enjoyed what you see. I can tell you guys I don't want to hear any requests like I usually would say for these things, because I have not built the F90 yet, so I'd have to go ahead and get that thing built first before I can even tackle any of these things. But once I do end up building the Stark Jagan, I probably will go ahead and build the F90, followed by these, especially since I believe these are newer releases. I'm seeing number 2023 is here, and last time I checked, they don't change anything on the box besides maybe the colors. And this is a P-band release, so they don't have to give it the blue logo to replace the red one, so I'm pretty sure these are all brand new, and I want to get a review for these things out. So next time they do go ahead and try to sell these things on P-Bandai, you guys have a source to be able to judge whether this would be worth their money, because these are P-Bandai kits. These things are expensive. This was about 80. These things I believe weren't too bad. These were about 20, 30 each. So just want to let you guys know some prices there in case, again, you were interested when I do review these things and give you the final verdict of what I personally believe will or will not be worth your money. So once again, this is Rare Modern Reviews. Like, comment, and please subscribe. Tune in for the next review.